So, in for a setup is a Roadhouse. Fender Roadhouse Mexican Stratocaster MX14 2014, although it looks absolutely brand new. In Yngwie Malmsteen colour as well. Another toilet seat. Scratch plate. Yeah, yes. It's got the colour though, doesn't it? Really. Yeah, so this was just in for a setup. It does have some interesting features though. So I thought the truss rod was broken. It's like one of those, again, you're like, so you're like, oh no, oh god, it's like a really expensive guitar as well, the truss rod's broken. It wasn't, it just wasn't connected. So this has never been touched since 2014 is my thinking to that. You know, they make the neck, the one piece maple neck, and it's perfectly straight, so they just take the nut for the truss rod and just go, ah, that's on, next. And it's like, ideally I would like them to turn it until, you know, just basically tighten up until it connects with whatever it's connecting to. Oh, it's connected, turn it back a wee bit, that's fine. But this was like kind of turning it going, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh thank god it's working. So yes, the truss rod was working. That's electrically not very good. Okay, I'm going to have to go into this again, because it's not going off. That's me getting the volume at nothing, and it's, yeah, how annoying is that? Anyway, okay, so I'm not finished with it yet, but I'll do this video anyway. Yeah, so this has a 6-position rotary switch. This will just be a master tone. A 6-position rotary switch, which is a gain boost. I skipped 2 there. And there's a wee switch in the centre called an S1 switch in the centre of the volume pot, which bypasses it. So here we go, full on normal strat. These are noiseless pickups. I don't know whether that means they're active or not. It's got a battery in it because it's got the preamp, but I'm not sure noiseless pickups necessarily means, I don't think they are active pickups. I'm hoping Switch Cleaner's going to clean that out. To be honest, I was wanting to go in anyway because the knob looks to be sitting at a slight angle. I did take a bit of the scratch plate off because I thought maybe there was a wire stuck in below. It just seems to be sitting a wee bit like that. It's annoying it's not working fully, but it feels very nice, it really does. It feels brand spanking new. I suppose looking at it, you can see it's a wee bit dusty, you can tell it's not actually brand new. Very little fretwear on it, a wee bit kind of... This is the owner's favourite note. That's the only place I can really see any... You can really see any sort of, not damage, but slight wear in the frets there. It's quite a big boost. Well. So that's it bypassed. That's it on at its lowest setting. Which seems like I quite like that actually. That's actually quite a good sound. Then I started to get into the hot pickup territory. Bypass. Again, the problem you have with like a sort of a volume boosty thing is it's kind of hard to tell what it's doing, because it's like basically whatever it is you're listening to, just turning the volume up a wee bit sounds better. It's like, oh, listen to this record, it's fantastic. I'll just turn it up. Oh, it's been better now because it's louder. Obviously, it gets to the point where the guitars are falling off the walls and stuff where it's too loud, but tonally, I definitely think in the lowest position, it doesn't necessarily seem to make it much louder, but it does give it a wee bit of a more jangle. which is kind of I think where I would have this guitar. I like a stratty to be stratty. So neck position, position 4. Middle position. Position 2. Position 1. Preamped. Preamped. On the preamp's low setting. It's actually kind of that sort of the difference between vintage style pickups and like your hotter ones. Really annoying that. The really annoying thing about that the S1 switch is I bet an S1 switch is really expensive, so I hope this isn't broken and it's just dirty instead. That would be really nice, but obviously I'm going to have to take the strings off and take the scratch plate out and see if there's something I can do to try and get it to go fully off. It goes nearly off, but not fully off. How far into this did I get without putting the rat pedal on? So bridge pickup. That's the bypass the active circuit. Bypass preamp on level 1. 2. Maximum boost, and then bypass. Yeah, as I thought with the preamp thing, which often happens with these things, when you're on a clean channel, the preamp seems to make it a lot louder, whereas when you've already got like a distortion pedal on or a rat pedal on, it's more of a, it doesn't necessarily make it louder, it makes it more distorted. It's like more driven, but not necessarily louder, like more of a square wave thing. Okay. take the tone off. Yeah, so I've got to give this guitar back. Yes, so I mean, it looks absolutely spectacular. The neck is gorgeous, it really is. I do slag off Mexican Fenders a little bit, but I don't know, maybe this has had a wee bit of play in it. It seems, it's really nice though. I really don't like not being able to turn it off. That's something in here not right. I wonder if something to do with it being at an angle or something, or has a wire been switched. Yes, it's got the square Mexican Fender type tuners, quite a lot. I mean, the neck's the most important bit. The neck's a belter, and the colours the second most important bit. The colour's a belter. I kind of want to call it egg yellow or something. It's not. I don't know. Whatever this colour is, fantastic. So I thought I was finished with it, but I mean that's why I do these demo videos. Make sure it's all working. Like, and it forces me to play for 15 minutes or whatever it is. Yeah, so volume control needs sorted. It will be replaceable, but I mean I've never actually looked up buying an actual S1 switch. If it didn't have the switch in it, it would just be a case of worst case scenario, put a new volume pot in it. But kind of, especially since it's got it's got a function you need. I assumed that the S1 switch was. I have wired them up before, but it's like it seems to do different things. Basically, I think the S1 switch is actually the physical switch. So I was thinking, you know, the S1 is a set way of, you know, putting the pickups in order. I think literally the S1 switch is this type of Stratocaster knob with a switch in it, kind of like a push-pull pot. Whereas a push-pull pot is not a phase switch. It's not a coil split. It's just a switch, so you can make it do whatever you want. And in this one, it's a bypass for the active circuit. I would go to the point as well, when you push it in, it's bypass. I would think when it's out is what you're expecting. That forever Fender are pretty much thinking you're going to be using this guitar, you're going to have that preamp on. It's bypassable. I suppose an interesting thing, what would be really clever is if you take the battery out and you bypass it, the guitar still works. Because that would be a handy thing, because one of my problems with any sort of active circuit is, right, yes, okay, so that's a really handy thing, I would think, because although obviously ideally you'd change the battery before every gig and you would check it and all this stuff, you would if the battery fails, it'd be very handy to be able to still continue playing the gig and not have to go, oh god, no, the whole guitar's knackered, as opposed to being, oh, I don't have the active thing anymore. It's going to sound a little bit louder, just go to the volume and you put it a wee bit, and you're getting through the gig, and it's not a huge... Hello, focus! Yeah, yeah, so that answers the question, but they're not active pickups either, they're Fender noiseless. Well, in saying that, to be honest, I'm looking up the spec on, I typed it into Anderton's, I think, and I was looking at the spec. It did say discontinued, so maybe it was like a few years old, 2014. But I've got the trem working lovely as well, returning to pitch and stuff. So rocking. So owner of this guitar, your guitar's finished. Well, not nearly quite finished. I'm not sure. You didn't actually. I don't know if you probably didn't know that the volume control was doing that. So that might be another whole kettle of fish. Hopefully I can just fix it though. Hopefully it'll just be a case of taking it out, tightening it up, squishing it with contact cleaner, and it'll come back to life. I would hazard a guess that if it is, it's more likely to be dust than abuse. This guitar hasn't seen. I mean, it's actually making me a little bit nervous playing a guitar that has so none. I mean, it's totally mint. There's no dinks, dents, scratches in it whatsoever, and it's like, better with me. I'll not be playing that on tonight's live stream. I don't ever play anyone else's guitars on live streams, just in case It's like the old drink driving thing. I don't drink drive because, I mean, any time you're out driving, you could knock somebody over. It's just a thing about driving, and that would be absolutely awful. If you had been drinking at all and you knock someone over, then you're going to have to live the rest of your life thinking, maybe if I hadn't been drinking, I wouldn't have hit them. And that's not worth it. So that's kind of, that's a bit of an extreme measure. But I mean, hence never drink and drive ever. Never have. I've always just the thought of imagine having killed somebody in the car and it was your fault, or even if it wasn't your fault, it could be entirely their fault. It'd be really bad if you killed someone in the car. It'd be horrendous. But if you'd even just had your 2 beers or 1 beer, whatever your limit was, you're always going to be in your head going, if I'd been sober. Yeah. So, I don't know, I suppose drinking, playing guitar's the same. I would feel awful if I'd dropped a guitar, which is bad. It's awful dropping a guitar, but dropping someone else's guitar, especially when I'm meant to be looking after it. See, I'm sort of professional. I think the live streams probably put me off looking a little bit less prepared, but I only drink on a Sunday night, and that's it for the live stream, and it's kind of, you egging me on anyway. It's like, it's peer pressure drinking. But I'm always sober when I'm doing anything. All during the week, for 95% of the week, just that wee hour. Go mad for a couple of hours. Yeah, so you should be able to play it with the volume off. Cool. So yes, these are lovely guitars. The old real Fender. It's like the argument of when does a Fender become a real Fender, and it's like, well, Mexican ones are real Fenders. They just are. I think they're even made in the same. Well, not the bodies and the necks are cut out in the same factory, and then some of them, the American ones are assembled in America by Mexicans, and then the other ones are sent. The Mexican ones are sent to Mexico to get assembled by Mexicans. And I think they spend a little bit more time on the finish for the American ones, but apart from that, it's the same guitar. Rock it on, catch you later. Update! Yeah, so the switch was a bit bent. It looked like a manufacturing fault. I had to extend one of the wires that went from the circuit board behind the thingy because the wire was just not short enough. It was actually bending the back of the switch in the way, so I had to kind of put another wire in to replace. I don't really know what happened there unless someone's been in it before. Don't know. But now it works. So that was why the whole thing was saying it was sitting at a funny angle and stuff. That was why that was, and I think because it was getting physically pulled. It was like the wire was like almost like that. You're just like no. Yeah. Okay, so sorted. I didn't have to buy a new S1 switch. Thank God, that would be expensive. Catch you later.